All right, man, we back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. I told you guys I was at least going to get one more video today. And I believe Ed Stefanski has done a tremendous job under the circumstances with the mid-level exception and stuff of that nature, man. And if he could pull off a trade for Bradley Beal, like I said earlier in my other video, he should be executive of the year. I don't care if they go 0-82. All right, but what he's done with this roster, man, and I forgot we still had Langston Galloway. Well, what he's done with this roster is amazing. Okay, you look at his Reggie, Blake, Dre. He still got Reggie contract to play with. He could trade because it's an $18 million, come off the books. So people be looking for expiring contracts. So you got that. And also, Luke Kennard don't work out. Bruce Brown in there. I haven't watched the Summer League, man, to sit down or nothing. I watched a little bit of, I don't know what I was watching last night. I was that tired. I think the Kings was playing. But, you look at the 2 spot, you got Galloway, Kennard, and Brown and Kyrie Thomas. So, and you really cross your fingers. And you got some hybrids in there, and I'll talk about those as well. But you cross your fingers, one of those guys steps up, okay? You know what you get with Galloway off the bench. You know what you're going to get with Brown. One thing with Brown is you got elite defender. Now, I was there today. They played the Toronto Raptors in March at Little Caesars, and I was polarized by Bruce Brown's job he did on Kawhi Leonard. Now, he couldn't stay on the floor because it wasn't because of foul trouble, because he couldn't score. If Bruce Brown can mount some offense, man, and not just this new Steph Curry league, you got to jack up threes. No, the closer you are to the bucket, the higher the percentage you got to make it. Do what Tony Parker did. He developed to be able to get to the bucket. Then when they packed the paint in, he able to develop a floater. And then he got that mid-range 10 to 15-footer going, man. He didn't necessarily need to extend his range out the three-pointer. Same thing with Rip Hamilton. He really never managed, he never really mastered being a phenomenal finisher at the bucket. But he was, a pretty good finisher. But he mastered the mid-range game, and then he extended his range out to three-point land. Bruce Brown really need to inside to mid-range and then eventually add that three-point shot. Three-point shot ain't imperative for him. I think he really need to model his game, his offensive shooting game after Westbrook. But if he get better and he add an offensive game, I can see him being an all-star. I definitely can see him making some all-NBA defensive teams, first, second, third. Worst case scenario, he Tony Allen. And I think that's a hell of a career for a second-round pick. You look at the point guard position. I'm not so sold on that position because Reggie Jackson, he really don't give you nothing really every now and again. And Derrick Rose, people got mad because what I said about Derrick Rose, but it's true. Derrick Rose is a spot player. He's a bridge guy. Okay, Derrick Rose is a guy that if you get to the playoffs, he can be effective and win you a game. He no longer can win you a series. He no longer the MVP. He's just not built like and built like that no more. But what my problem is with Derrick Rose, and I hopefully I get to do it live, man. I just gotta prioritize that for this channel, and I still gotta do the Lions live. But my whole thing about Derrick Rose is that he has yet to make the adjustment to his game where he not relying off of pro hopping and euro stepping and being athletic and couture. He never really adjusted his game to his injuries. And I say this, now a lot of people may be too young or maybe they didn't watch the NBA, but Antonio McDyess was a guy, believe it or not, he was a top 3 or 4 player in the NBA in the 90s with the Denver Nuggets. And he was known for, remember Sean Kemp? That was him. But McDyess was sweet as a motherfucker. McDyess was one of the best players in the league. And I used to love watching Antonio McDyess play. He hurt his knee, but he was able to reinvent himself and become below the rim. Ron Harper was another guy. One of the, biggest what-if stories, one of the most underrated biggest what-if stories. Hurt his knee. He was out cold with the Clippers when he got to the Bulls. He was a three-point shooter. He was a defender. Derrick Rose hasn't really adjusted his game to that. Rose still trying to jump around here, finish at the rim. And in spots, he looked quick and he looked like the old Derrick Rose. But at the end of the day, his body only can manage so much. Therefore, he ain't the 50-point scorer he was that night. That ain't him no more. He need to adjust his game. Jason Kidd, he did it. It wasn't no injury. He just got old. And Derrick Rose hasn't shown the ability to adjust his game. He got the skills to do so. Don't get me wrong. But he ain't did it. And you can't count on him to come in here for 40 games or 60 games, shit, let alone 82 games and be the savior. He ain't no 82, 60, 50 game starting dude, He a good guy off the bench that can give you good quarters. He can give you a good game here. He might can string together 2 or 3 good games, but he need load management. And to go to Tim Frazier, I'm telling you, if Tim Frazier can really get that green light, Tim Frazier can go. Tim Frazier is one of my favorite acquisitions, whatever. He one of my favorite. Man, I remember in New Orleans, he can go. He can get to the buck. He can score. He can facilitate. Look for him to be a dark horse pickup, man. I love some Tim Frazier, man. He can shoot it. He can score it. He fast. He can get it. And I look for him to be more, if he get the playing time, I look for him to be more of an impactful player in the 82 games than Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose will have his highs and his lows and his injuries and stuff of that nature. But Tim Frazier, look for him to eventually get starter minutes. And that's because his body can handle it. If Derrick Rose's body can handle it, Derrick Rose obviously be an MVP again. But he can't. Markieff Morris, I like his game. Same as other Morris, a little bit different. He kind of got lost in the sauce of Oklahoma City because he never got a chance to adjust. But that 3-4 position, with possibly Morris playing the 3 or 4, Tony Snell, Blake Griffin, other 2 or 3 or 4 guy. I might be forgetting somebody as well. Oh, Sayoko, 3-4 guy. I like Tony Snell a lot. Tony Snell is going to be a 3-and-D guy. He going to get some consistent minutes. He going to be able to be a good defender. If Bruce Brown is able to add to his game and Tony Snell can consistently knock down the three-pointer, 38, 37, 39, 40% shooter. I don't know what he was last year career. Was he able them 2 guys out there? I mean, that's crazy. Because they can defend. They can lock you up. And then you got Andre Drummond, Thon Maker at the 5. And I know I'm probably forgetting some guys, but what they done, man, they have overhauled their roster on a budget. I like exactly what the Pistons done. They're definitely a better team. Now, would that mean they make the playoffs this year? I mean, I don't know, because we got to look at what's going to happen with Kawhi Leonard. Jalen Rose say he coming to Toronto, coming back. We don't know. He met with Toronto tonight. You never really know. But if he come back to Toronto, Philly got better. Toronto, I think Boston to be better with the camaraderie. Indiana getting Oladipo back. They got somebody, Brogdon. I look for Indiana to be a dark horse. The Brooklyn Nets, they'll still be there with Baby Durant, Karis LeVert, and Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan. Miami will still be there. They're going to be in the thick of things. I like what they done. But really, you don't worry about Charlotte. The Bulls, I don't know what jump they can make. Wendell Carter's still injured. Milwaukee, you still got to worry about them. So it's going to be a dogfight. The East is just not the least no more. The East is, if Kawhi come back, the East is a problem. I know I'm forgetting Orlando going to be better. It's going to be a tough conference, but the Pistons have adjusted. They've got better with the other teams, with the Brooklyns and the Bostons. I think camaraderie-wise, they got better. But for them, it's going to be about Morris contributing, Tim Frazier contributing. And the number one thing is if they're able to bring in Bradley Beal, oh, my God, man, I love this team, man. And I wouldn't be opposed to trading Andre Drummond. If he going to opt out, I'm not paying him no max contract. I'm tired. And I say this. Andre Drummond got a lot to prove this year. They asked who was better, him or DeAndre Jordan. And I say DeAndre Jordan from the standpoint of, at least I know Jordan is going to protect the rim. Drummond is going to give you rebounding. That's it. And he'll catch a lob or 2. He need to pick something to be elite at. Either be elite offensive player. And he improving still. Still young. It ain't him mentioned still, but he need to prove to be elite defensively or offensively this year. You just can't be an elite rebounder in this league. Dennis Rodman was an elite defender and elite rebounder. So therefore we didn't really care, or the Bulls didn't really care about his offense. Dre need to be elite defensively or elite offensive. And if he able to take that challenge on or become close to elite, then I pay him his money, But until then, I love what the team done. Blake Griffin won't have to carry so much of the load, man. So can't wait to see the Pistons in action. And I'll do my favorite, new free agent we got coming on when it's over with. But don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email. Appreciate the love, support, man. And I love what the Pistons done. Ed Stefanowski's done an amazing job. I didn't agree with the 30th pick and all that other ish. But Pistons looking real good right now. I think they'll be in the playoffs next year.